Alright, I thought I'd make this video to help some of you with your revision, because I noticed things yesterday when I was doing this with one of the 7 classes that we're making some easy mistakes, and that's going to cost us marks. So like I said to one of my classes, that I will say to both classes next week, is we haven't looked at area of a trapezium, we haven't looked at area of a circle. So when you get this formula sheet in your exam, I would cross those out. We don't look at perimeter, so those formulas aren't needed. Alright, first question is calculate the area of the following shapes using show full working. Keyword there is calculate area. Most people yesterday, when I went through them, didn't see the area word, and you started just not doing what you need to do. So if we start with this one, again, these are all triangles, so if we go back to our formula sheet, we've got the formula for area of a triangle. So A equals base times height divided by 2. So we're going to put that in, base times height divided by 2. The base of triangle 1 is 3 times height is 1.6, multiply them together, divide by 2. You can do that on your calculator straight away. So it's important that I'm going to show you what to put on your calculator, because some people were making this simple error. You need to put 3.0 times 1.6, hit equals, get that answer, and then we're going to take that answer and we're going to divide it by 2. So it's 4.8, so we're going to do 4.8 divided by 2. Which equals 2.4. It's in meters, so in area it's going to be meters squared. Next one, same thing, area of a triangle. Again, base times height divided by 2. The only difference between this triangle and this triangle is now you've got a third number there. Don't let the third number there fool you. We're putting that there to see if you really understand how to find area of a triangle. It's still this formula. The base of this triangle is 34. The height of the triangle is 29. You're going to multiply them together, divide by 2. So again, on your calculator, 34 times 29, hit equals, that gives you 986. And then something you guys don't know or haven't learned yet, but I'm going to make it clear for you now, is once you got your answer, instead of clearing that answer, if you press divide, it will take the last answer you put in, that's what A and S is, and now you can divide that last answer by any number. In this case we're going to divide it by 2, so that gives us 493 millimeters squared. Again, next triangle, base times height divided by 2. With all of these formulas, since I give you the formula for each one, you don't get a mark for your formula. You're going to get a mark for substituting your numbers into the formula, the answer, and the units. So answer, units both get a mark. So realistically, each one of these would be 1.5 marks on this practice exam. So here, base times height. base 25. The height is always the height at a right angle, your perpendicular height, which is 27. Multiply them together, divide by 2. Again, on your calculator, that's 25 times 27 gives us 675. We're going to divide that answer by 2. So then, don't clear it, press divide, it will take that last answer and we can divide it by 2. It equals, gives you 337.5 centimeters squared. And then last one, again, base times height divided by 2. Your base is 16. Your height, again, is the height at a right angle for a triangle, so that height there, 19, divide 2. So we're going to do 16 times 19, which gives us 304. We're going to divide that answer by 2. That gives us 152 centimeters squared. Our next one, our next shape is a parallelogram. Again, if you don't know the area formula for a parallelogram off the top of your head, come back to your formula sheet. It tells you that for a parallelogram, A equals base times height. So I'm going to use A equals base times height. Base is 6.7, height is 4.2. I'm going to multiply them together. This time we don't have to divide by 2, which gives us 28.14 millimeters squared. Alright, volume. You got to calculate the volume of the following prisms. Both of these are rectangular prisms. We know that the volume of any shape is area of the base shape times height. The base shape for a rectangular prism will be a rectangle. So volume for a rectangular prism is length times width times height. Again, length times width, that's the area of the base shape, which is a rectangle. So if we take this rectangle, you've got a length of 7, a width of 4, height of 2. Multiply them together and then put your units in. That gives us 56 centimeters cubed. Next one, again, volume equals area base times height. We have a rectangular prism, so the base shape is a rectangle, so area of a rectangle is length times width times height, which means we've got 34 times 19 times 15, which gives us 9,690 centimeters cubed. For our two triangular prisms, again, area of the base times the height of the shape. For a triangular prism, we need the area of the triangle first. So there's my triangle. We know from the previous page and our formula sheet that area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, and we're going to multiply that by the height of the shape. So the base of our first triangle is 3, the height there is 4, of the triangle, the one at a right angle there. We're going to divide that by 2 and multiply by the height of the shape, which is 6. So 3 times 4 is 12. Divide 2 times 6. 12 divided 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. That's centimeters cubed. So that's that working out. For our second triangle, again we're going to have V equal area of the base shape times height. Again, base shape is a triangle, so we're going to have base times height divide 2 times the height of the shape. The base of our triangle here is 2. The height of our triangle is 3. Going to multiply them together, divide by 2, and then multiply by the height of the shape, which is 7. That's 6 divided by 2. Going to multiply that by 7, which is 3 times 7, which is 21 centimeters cubed. Again, for both volume questions, all these questions, we go back up here. Formula gets us a mark, substituting gets us a mark, answer gets us a mark. So 1.5 marks each. Same with this. Formula, substitute, final answer. Formula, substitute, final answer will give us a mark each. Alright, this time, now we're adding more complexity because we've gone from a single shape to a composite shape. And you have to calculate the area of the composite shape. When you see the word composite shape, what you gotta know or think to yourself is, what shapes are combined to make this shape? So to me, if I put a line through here, I see a triangle and a rectangle. So to find the area of this shape, I'm going to find the area of this triangle here, and then I'm going to find the area of the rectangle there. So let's call that A2, and then we're going to add them together. So let's start with area 1. It is a triangle, so from our formula sheet, we know that's base times height divided by 2. We know the base of our triangle is 28, so I know that, so because this distance 28, we know that distance is going to be 28 across. What we don't know is this perpendicular height that we got to work out. Well, if the whole distance is 28 centimeters and we know up to here is 14, this height here is going to be 28, take away the 14 that we have. So that's going to be 14 centimeters as well. Now we've worked out the height. So this means the base of our triangle is 28, the height is 14. We're going to multiply them together, and as my formula says, divide by 2. Which gives us 392. Divide that answer by 2. Gives us 196 centimeters squared. Next we've got a rectangle. We know that area of a rectangle, so area of a rectangle will be length times width. We know it's 28 by 14, and we know 28 by 14 is 392 here, so that's going to be 392 centimeters squared. Then our total area for the shape is going to be A1 plus A2. I want the whole shape, so I got to add both areas together. So we're going to do 392 plus 196, which gives us 588 centimeters squared. So for this question, you get formula, substitute into the formula, answer, substitute into the formula, answer, substitute into this formula, and then answer. So about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half marks, so 3 marks in total just for this question. This shape will probably gonna get the same thing. For this shape, again, composite shape, I want to break it up into 2 shapes that I already know the formula for. So if I put a line through there, we know if that's 6 centimeters, this is 6 centimeters. Sorry, 6 meters. Here, the base of this triangle is what we don't know. But if we know this whole distance is 3 meters, and this is 1.5 meters, the base of our triangle is going to be 3 take away 1.5, which is 1.5 meters. Now I've got area 1 and area 2. Again, a triangle and a rectangle. So area 1, we're going to use our triangle formula, which is base times height divide 2. Base is 1.5. The height of our triangle is 6. Multiply them together, divide by 2. 1.5 times 6 gives us 9. Divide by 2 is 4.5 meters squared. Now for our rectangle, we know we have a length of 6, a width of 1.5. So length times width. Length is 6, width is 1.5. Which gives us 9 meters squared. Then total area is going to be area 1 plus area 2. Area 1 is 4.5. Area 2 is 9. So when you add them together, you get 13.5 meters squared. Again, 1 mark for substitution, 1 mark for the answer, 1 mark for substitution, 1 mark for the answer, 1 mark for substitution, 1 mark for the answer. There's 3 marks for that one question. Alright, in your exam, the question will be calculate the volume of the composite shapes below. For your practice exam, I'm just going to get you to do a volume of a rectangular prism and a worded problem. So if you're finding the volume of a composite shape, just like we did here, you would find the volume of the two shapes you have and add them together. Since this is going into more complex situations, I can only show you part of the solution. So part of that is working out the volume of a shape. So like we did before, volume is area of base times height. We know that this is a rectangular prism, so the base shape is a rectangle. That means we need the area of a rectangle, which is length times width times height. So you guys, you're very lucky. We've given you the formula for a rectangular prism and a triangular prism here. So use your formula sheet is what I'm saying. Alright, now let's substitute our numbers. We've got 16 times 16 times 24. Do that on your calculator, and that gives us 6,144 centimeters cubed. And then last question, Mr. Harrod wants a rectangular pool for his house. The pool must be less than 70 meters squared to fit in his backyard. The pool is going to have dimensions of 12 meters by 4 meters and 2 meters deep. Determine if Mr. Harrod can have the pool built. I would, as the hint says, draw a diagram to start with. So if we draw our rectangle and then draw lines coming off of it from these corners and connect them together, there's your rectangular pool. It says the pool has dimensions of 12 meters, so it's 12 meters long, 4 meters wide and 2 meters deep. We know that volume of a rectangular prism or any shape is area base times height. We know from up here that rectangular prism formula is length times width times height. We know the length is 12, the width is 4, and the height is 2. So I'm going to do that on my calculator, which gives me 96 meters cubed. Since this was a worded question, we need to answer the question that it's asking, which is determine if Mr. Harrod can have the pool built. Well, the pool is 96 meters cubed and only a 96 meters cubed. Only a pool that's 70 meters cubed will fit in the pool, in the backyard, sorry. So here you'd say no, Mr. Harrod cannot have the pool built in his backyard. And that is the end of our practice exam.